yet, not yet. Ah, we're good. Hi, I'm Jim Van Wyck here with my dear friend and longtime associate, Nate Siggard. And we're here to talk about SEO a little bit, about Nate's new fantastic new app and business concept, and just a general conversation about SEO in 2018. Hello, Nate.
How's it going, Jim? Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Okay. Nate, tell people a little bit about your new business concept and tattoos and what you're doing, just so people have some context.
Yeah. So earlier in 2017, I did a tattoo on some friends of mine, and it was of a sound wave. We turned a sound into a visual representation of a sound wave, and we figured out a way to play that sound back using augmented reality. I did a tattoo on myself as an example, and I filmed a video of it, and that video went super viral. Apparently I was the first one to do it, so we invented a new way to use augmented reality, and everything kind of snowballed after that. People wanted to get them all over the world, and we had to start figuring out how we were going to make that possible for them, and so we founded a company, we built an app, and we recently released the app, so it's really exciting.
Right, and that's great. And yeah, and just for context, Nate's being humble. His first video on Soundwave tattoos got edited and spliced and diced in many different places, and has well over 100 to 150 million views of that video in its various iterations.
Yeah, I mean, we've counted. We're about at like 300 million right now.
Yeah, that's what I figured. It was way over that. So 300 million videos, and you just the last couple of days had a breakout Twitter video too, right?
Yeah, actually, that was one of our customers. So, you know, we launched during the holidays. We did a soft launch. The traffic was kind of slow, and so we were using that time to focus on the product, make sure that everything was working properly. And we had a customer actually who went and got a tattoo. She filmed it. She put it on her own Twitter, and in the first 24 hours, she had 5 million views on her video. Twitter featured it in their moments category. It got picked up by the Daily Mail and the Sun, and then the BBC contacted her. So she's been doing interviews for BBC. BET picked it up, so it went out on BET. There's a page called The Shade Life, or The Shade Room, that ran it. They got 3 million views on it in the last 24 hours. So that one's already at like 10 million views in the last 48 hours. And that was just like a customer of ours who made a video and put it out. So
well,
awesome.
you have a good product when people make videos about your product and they go viral.
Yeah, totally.
Now I want to change subjects, and I saw you do an ad for some people to do some SEO work with you on contract, and I just wanted to pick your brain about what you're doing, and then I'd like to talk about how people can earn high quality links and make friends in the industry in what I think is the easiest way to really start establishing an authority site. So what are you doing for SEO for your various sites, Nate?
So originally, when the first video went viral, we started with a landing page, and the landing page only had our video on it, and then a little bit of marketing copy and a mailing list sign up.
Right.
And for the first 2 weeks, that was all the website had at all. It was kind of mysterious, and so we started driving people to that, and then I put up a WordPress site, and I think the foundation of all of my SEO strategies kind of rely on WordPress at this point. WordPress does such a good job of organizing the information and presenting it in a way that the search engines are, trained to really like at this point. So we put up a WordPress website, and then basically, as people were contacting us and asking questions, I would figure out strategic ways to answer their questions on the website in as many different formats as I possibly could, so that whenever somebody would search for one of those questions, they would immediately find an answer. I mean, it helped. We had a lot of inbound links at that point, but that was kind of at the beginning. Now, as we started building,
just let me underline. So Nate hits it. Answer the most frequently asked questions in the subject area of your website. Duh.
Yeah.
But know what the questions are and give good and complete and uniquely fresh answers. Okay, sorry, I just wanted to underline that point because
Totally.
it went by fast, and it's a foundational idea.
Well, and a lot of those questions get asked in multiple ways. And so it was important that we answered those questions in the different ways that they were being asked. And sometimes where people would say, how are you doing this? Yes. And that's a really broad question. Are they asking about the augmented reality? Are they asking about the tattoo? Are they asking about this other thing? And so we answered that question 6 different ways.
Right.
And those don't all have to be on one page. We'd kind of spread it out. Maybe I would answer them in different blog posts or put up different pages or an FAQ section. But I made sure that each variety of that question was available somewhere on the website.
Right.
So once we started building our app, we actually built it using JavaScript and React. So our website actually right now is not search engine optimized at all, right, because of the fact that it's a single page JavaScript app. And as a result, because our core website product, like our platform, is not search engine optimized anymore, and also as a strategy early on, I went out and bought all the domains that I could think of that use all the keywords that had to do with our product. So I basically made a list of those keywords. I ran them through a couple different domain generating websites that I use, and then I bought as many of them as I could at the time. I mean, I didn't have a lot of money to work with. I think for around $500, we got about 50. And of those websites, the strategy now is developing each of those as a standalone WordPress website and then re-answering a lot of those questions in a way that will drive people back to our core website. Eventually, they essentially act as landing pages, but each one is tailored to a specific question, a specific keyword phrase, and really gives an opportunity to try and test them against each other. Which one's going to get higher results? Which one is going to, which explanation do people like more and click through better? But and it also acts as like a really good kind of strategy. We haven't run into too many people who have tried to copy our concept yet. There have been a few people, but we took all of the key domains that had to do with our concept, and so there was not an easy availability for someone else to just come in and get a variation of our trademarks, so that they could try and take some of our traffic or something also. So it kind of worked out in both ways.
Because I guarantee you, your idea is so strong that there will be imitators, right?
Yeah, totally. I mean, the biggest one right now is like out of Romania, and so they're not actually like writing anything in English yet. Everything's like very European. They're focused over there, and we actually were able to get them removed from the App Store in the United States because of our trademarks and stuff. So, and their product is like notably inferior, which I think is a given considering how much we've invested at this point. But I think a good strategy, a lot of people, I think with like SEO, whatever, like one of the things I see from people a lot is, how do I get rid of some of this bad stuff I see on Google? I don't want these other results showing up. And so, how do I get rid of them?
Yep.
And, I think the strongest defense is a really strong offense. And so rather than, trying to figure out how to get all of that other content removed, which would be the same as if we had a competitor, right? Like if there's a competitor and they're trying to show up in our search results or whatever, rather than let them show up at all, there's going to be so much content that we've put out on all of these different WordPress SEO sites that we're going to rank at the top for every one of those keywords, regardless of whether or not someone else wants to show up and try and play the game of getting up in there.
Right. And because your business is fresh and new, you have an inherent advantage on the overall concept, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think, I would hope so. I think because we're first movers, that's definitely an advantage for us. I think there's some other like cultural advantages, because of the fact that we're in LA and we're so close to the entertainment industry and Silicon Valley, and we have connections in both of those places. I think that goes a really long way. But not everyone has that, and so I don't necessarily think that it's vital or that it's something that should hold anyone back if they don't have that. But it is something that is a cushion for us that lets us think more strategically rather than because really, like, it's a blessing and a curse to have something go crazy viral before you even have a plan about how you're going to monetize it. The proof of concept is there. There's no doubting at all that there are people who are interested, that want this product, who, there's no doubt at all that it was worth it for our investors to get into the company. There was no doubt at all that we should put our time and energy into doing it. But at the same time, we had to move quickly. There was no time to, run data analysis and generate reports. Like, it was basically like build something and test it, and build something and test it, and build something and test it, and not worry about if it's perfect or not. There was no time to worry about perfection. It was just build it and test it, build it and test it. Now that our platform's out, actually, we're spending a lot more time going back and analyzing data and, optimizing everything. But at the time, it was just about how quick can we do it. And I think the most important thing for that also was WordPress. Because yes. WordPress, with all of its different plugins and everything that's going on, like, anything we needed to do, there was a plugin for. I could put it in WordPress and it was ready to go within an hour.
Right.
Did
you do a lot of custom programming or stock WordPress sites with plugins and great content? What do you do there?
I mean, I have, even though I haven't programmed a custom WordPress theme in years. There's no need. There's, for the most part, I use WooCommerce as my e-commerce backend for pretty much everything. If I'm going to use WordPress for any amount of e-commerce stuff, I'm going to use WooCommerce. There's a couple of like really good themes that are so customizable that like I could use the same theme for 10 different websites and no one would know.
Do you want to give me the name of them?
I think. I don't have them offhand, but I can give
Okay, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
don't worry about it. But it's true, by the way, and there's press page builders and stuff too, right? But customizing WordPress now, unless you have a huge budget or very particular needs, I don't think custom WordPress is worth doing unless you have very specialized kind of needs. I agree.
Yeah, I mean, we built an e-commerce solution for people to be able to for artists. So we used a plugin for artists to apply. They'd fill out a form, they would apply. After they applied, it would record their information in a database. I would approve different artists. After they were approved, they would get an email that would let them register to become a member of our network. When they registered, they would do that through a WooCommerce subscription plugin. So I just added a subscription plugin to WordPress, and that connected to WooCommerce. And so when they would register, they would get a subscription. I mean, this is really fast. It was really early on. It was almost no financial investment at all. I mean, for less than $1,000, we had the website set up with the WordPress, with the e-commerce, with the subscriptions. And signing up
thousands of people to work in your network.
Yeah. I mean, it was amazing, and because I knew that wasn't going to be like a long-term solution. Like, I knew that what mattered was making it happen quickly.
Exactly.
And proving the concept, because once we proved the concept and we had all these people signed up, then it was really easy to go to an investor and say, look at what we have. And for them to understand and say, you're absolutely right. But had I waited or tried to hire a developer and build a custom website and do what we eventually did, it ended up costing us $250,000. And it's no small task, and 9 months of work of a team of 5 people to build our entire platform out. And, I did essentially half of that amount of work with WordPress in a week. So
I gotcha.
If you don't need it,
I gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay, go
WordPress.
back to SEO now. This is great, by the way. Thank you.
Yeah.
So you've got all your exact keyword domains. You're putting questions and contents in it. What are you doing? What's your home site, and what are you doing for your big main site?
Well, so our main website is skinmotion.com.
Right?
And realistic, that's our platform, our app, like that's the name of the company and everything. But I would say that our biggest domain, keyword-wise, would be soundwavetattoos.com, which at this point just forwards to skinmotion.com. And, you know, I think we're a little backlogged right now on all of the different things we're working on, features in the site and stuff. So SEO is not as high of a priority, especially because we have so many inbound links right now. We have like news articles in basically every major news publication has an article pointing to our website right now. And so we're focusing on press, like our main search in like SEO strategy right now is just to get like as much press as possible to get all the inbound links coming in. Because I would say that like after having a site that is crawlable, you know, using WordPress to build a website that has all the data structured in a way that the search engines are going to like, the next most valuable thing are high quality inbound links, right? Like that is
Absolutely.
I would, they're almost on par with each other, but if you don't have your content set up in a way that can be, you know, analyzed by the search engines properly, then the inbound links don't matter as much. So I think that is core, and the inbound links are secondary. So right now the strategy is definitely just getting as many inbound links as possible. I'm also doing,
and you're getting high quality inbound links too. BBC, major newspapers, television networks, NBC. Your links are good, right?
Yeah, I mean, we like time.com, you know, is I think one of the like biggest ones. But yeah, I mean, I've got, you know, another thing that I think is really important is like I have Google Alerts set up. So
Yes.
anytime there is a link set up or goes out, anything that's published with our company or our name or our keywords, I get emails about that. So I have a list of every inbound link to our website right now. And every day I can see what's going up, how the traffic's going. And I'm always analyzing that, you know, like where are we not strong and how do we build that up a little bit? And so I think, you know, building out all those WordPress domain sites are, that's like an additional strategy. That's like something we are starting to do. We haven't done as much as we need to yet. Like right now, the majority of those domains just point straight, they just forward immediately straight to our website. So
they're just, in other words, they're just straight redirects. So if somebody types in how does Soundwave's tattoos work, for example, it just goes over to your main site, which is Skin Motion, huh?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Good. That's great. I want to talk a little bit, and this is an idea for you, Nate. Not for you to do, but for somebody on your staff. Okay. don't get thinking I'm trying to give you more work to do. You have people who can do this. Okay. And here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I think is the single best way for anybody to get links if you don't have NBC Time Magazine covering you, by the way, okay? This is not that easy to do. So I call it video interviews for SEO, okay? Very simple. So why video? And Nate knows this. Facebook videos can go viral, right? Nate had one. YouTube videos can get huge amounts of links. And Nate, did you know this? Half of YouTube subscribers who are young, sort of younger millennials, they'll drop whatever they're doing to watch a new video on their favorite channel. Does that relate to you? Do you get that?
I totally believe it. And I mean, I'm one of them, and I'm guilty. I do it all the time.
Exactly. Okay. Now, over 50% of internet video users look for videos relating to their product or service. In other words, people look for videos these days, not just on, and YouTube is the primary thing. Here's an interesting thing. Embedding video on a landing page can inverse conversions by 80% or more. Nate, you know that, right? You put your video on your landing page. which told the story, your story in what, 2 minutes or something, right?
Yeah. Yeah, actually, our initial video on our landing page was a 30-second super mysterious video that just revealed the concept. It didn't even explain what was happening at all. And I think that was actually part of the strategy was, do you want a tattoo that does this? Great, sign up on this list and we'll tell you how.
Right. And we talked, and then you and I talked about your landing page too and made it better by talking about benefits and stuff.
Yep.
Now, this is something. Viewers who watch an ad twice on mobile remembers your brand. People remember Skin Motion. People remember your tattoos. By the way, in my little town in British Columbia, when I go in a coffee shop, if the person working there has a tattoo, I talk about Skin Motion. And 100% of people in my little town in Canada have heard of your tattoo system.
Oh, that's awesome.
100%, yeah. Okay, so why interviews? I'll talk about specific interviews in a minute. People love to talk about themselves. So you could get a video interview of your young, that young African-American singer who blew up on Twitter.
Yeah, absolutely.
You could get her on. You could get her talking about this tomorrow. Now she's obviously blowing up with Twitter followers, right? If you do a good little 10-minute interview with her about her grandmother and her singing career, she gonna link to that interview?
Oh, I mean, absolutely. Like,
yeah, is she gonna send Twitter traffic to that one, right? And now here's why I like Google Hangouts. All you can just say, as I said to you, all you need is a webcam and a smile. She doesn't need any technical setup. She just needs a webcam, right? Okay. These are, people will link to it. It's easily published on YouTube and Facebook, embedded on your site, and you can edit it for promos and teasers. I like Google Hangouts because it goes instantly to YouTube. By the way, Nate, I don't know if you know this, but our conversation is now being streamed to YouTube Live.
Awesome.
And when we hang up, I'll get a link, and we'll have a link to both embed this or send people to the conversation.
Cool.
And you would know how to download and republish to Facebook video, right? And of course, you can re-edit. When you get good videos, you can re-edit them and turn them into little Facebook appropriate 10 and 15 and 30-second teasers, right?
Yeah, with text on them.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Those little videos with text on them do real well.
You bet. Okay, so that's so much for that. So cool. Here's what I'm suggesting for you: get somebody get somebody who's more attractive than me, who likes to be on camera, and start that person making video interviews. Start small, and you have some very famous people with your that you've made videos before, lots of them, right?
Totally.
This way of making videos is instant, fast, and virtually no editing, right? You just have to get your person, write them some email templates. They can reach out, they can schedule this. And then I would recommend that you figure out what site you really, what your main converting site is, whether it's Skin Motion or Soundwave Tattoos. And then put them all there. Start a YouTube channel. You got a YouTube channel, right?
Yeah.
Just do the video interviews on YouTube channel. Get somebody enthusiastic who likes to talk, and you can start building a big YouTube following by telling great stories but not just of the tattoos, but tell people stories, right?
Yeah.
Where's that? Where's your Twitter girl from? Dallas or Houston or someplace?
She's from Chicago, but she's in Arizona.
Oh, she's in Arizona. Okay.
Yeah.
She's got a great story, and a little 5, 7, 10-minute video on Facebook telling her story is going to get a few thousand to 10,000 views, maybe. depends how it takes off. And you can accumulate that and do these, have somebody on your team do these videos fast and easy.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I actually live video streaming is like on the top of our list right now of strategies for just driving more traffic, engaging with the customers.
Of course.
I actually just picked up Wirecast, and I'm learning how to use Wirecast to do live streaming. One of the benefits of Wirecast.
Does that do live streaming to both YouTube and Facebook?
Yeah, it'll simulcast to multiple different live stream platforms at the same time. So that's one of its biggest advantages. But you can also use, like Loop and Skype, and I'm pretty sure you can use Hangouts.
Of course, you can use Hangouts. That's what we're doing now, and this is live on YouTube. And there's Be Live TV, which is a very good solution for Facebook Live. But I'm going to look into your Wirecast. And thanks for this, Nate. I don't want to keep it too long because I know you're really busy.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I mean, Jim, just so everyone else knows, Jim actually taught me almost the majority of what I know about internet marketing 12 years ago or 14 years ago or something, when we were working together on some insurance stuff. And I was just a green designer and web programmer back then. But really, it was working with Jim that taught me how to do a lot of this stuff in the first place, how to write engaging sales copy, how to appeal to people's psychology in ways that's going to help. And, just having somebody else who was interested in that stuff really went a long way towards understanding it better. And over the last, 12 years or whatever, 15 years or something, we've stayed in touch, and we've kept talking about all these different strategies and how to apply them and what to do with them or whatever. So, I'm super grateful, Jim. Thank you so much.
It's been a great relationship too. And dude, I am so proud of you building an essentially international, serious company in what I consider to be the first really major innovation in tattooing in about 30,000 years. And to that end, I want to close this off. Would you make a quick pitch? And we've sort of been kind of elusive about Soundwave tattoos. I want you to end our call with a pitch and tell people exactly what Soundwave tattoos are, what they do, and why they might consider getting one. Would you do that, please, Nate?
Yeah, totally. So a Soundwave tattoo is a tattoo that you can play back a sound that's recorded in your tattoo using a smartphone. It uses augmented reality. So you upload your sound to skinmotion.com, and we generate the shape of the sound for you. You bring that to a tattoo artist. The tattoo artist puts it on your body, and then you send a photo of your tattoo back to our company, and we turn it on and make it work inside of the app. Once that's done, you open your app, or you open your phone, the SkinMotion app on your phone, and when you point the camera at your tattoo, then the sound will play back by, it animates back as it plays, and you can hear the sound. So the biggest thing that people are getting these for actually are for their family members and loved ones who have passed away, which was totally an unintended consequence of making it. The first one I got was of my girlfriend Juliana, whose idea it actually was in the first place. She's the one who said, "Wouldn't it be cool if you could play that sound back?" After I did a couple of tattoos, and so it was her saying that triggered me to realize oh, I could do that. And I told my friends the very first ones were just some Elton John lyrics from Tiny Dancer. And as the girls were leaving, Juliana said, "Wouldn't it be cool if you could play that sound back?" And I immediately realized how I could do that using augmented reality. And so I told my friends as they were leaving, I was like, give me 20 minutes and you'll be able to download an app and play back your tattoo. And so they went home and they downloaded the app and they played back their tattoo, and they posted it on their Facebooks, and people were freaking out, what kind of magic sorcery is that and whatever. a lot of people didn't think it was real. And I think that's one of our biggest challenges right now, is that people still don't really think it's real. They're like, that's not real. And it's like,
It's so cool. It is so cool that people say this can't be real. I got it, right?
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Tell a story. I talked a little bit about your current girl. Tell a story about the young lady who got the grandmother tattoo there in Arizona, because that really tells people in an emotional way what they can do with this.
Yeah, so she called the tattoo artist in her area. You know, she went on our website. We have an artist directory of artists who we have trained. They watch like a video and take a little test so they know the limitations and the requirements. You know, there's a couple things with augmented reality that you have to look out for. I mean, the main limitation is that the camera has to be like seeing the area all at once, so the tattoo can't wrap around the body. It kind of has to go longwise. That's the main thing we're teaching artists. So anyway, she went on our website and found the artist that was near her. She called him, made an appointment, went and got the tattoo. I mean, this is completely like unknown to us, really. She activated the tattoo in the app, and then she filmed it, and she put the video that she filmed up on Twitter with a post that just said, like, I got this for my grandma. It's the last voicemail that she left me of like 3 years ago. So, and that's a common story that we hear, like people who have voicemails saved on their phones from people for like years. You know, and they will call their phone and they will listen to their voicemail of somebody who passed away, like, and then save it. They'll press 9 and save it, and then they'll just keep listening to it over and over, you know, for years. Like, and they're like, yeah, that's just like the way that I like kept my dad around. Or like, that's, you know, and so she's had this voicemail of her grandma that has, you know, she's been listening to for years. And, you know, I think she said something like it was 3 years since her grandma passed away. And, you know, she also happens to be, the girl who got the tattoo also happens to be like a singer, and she's working on her singing career. And so when she posted the video, I think, and she's active on Twitter. I think that's an important thing too, is that like she already had a community of people who supported her and who she, you know, engaged with or whatever. And so there was already like some built-in engagement. And that once she put the video out and her community saw that and everybody started interacting with her, she was available and she responded. And it's like that, being available and like being able to respond to people, where, you know, I think like that's what makes these things go viral. It's not that like we're making media, you know, the media used to make media and then like send it out. It's a very like one-way thing. Like I make, you ingest, you know, and
that's changed.
Yeah,
that's
totally
what's so beautiful. Yeah,
it's gone. Like it's that like interaction that then keeps it going. It like makes people a part of it. And I think it's so amazing to see that like this girl, you know, just got a tattoo because she thought it was a cool tattoo to get. You know, I don't think she had any bigger agenda than that. And
she shared it with her friend. But the story is killer, because this is, her grandmother died a couple of weeks after this voicemail message was done. And so this is the young woman's last connection with her grandmother. And now it's permanent. It's with her for as long as that tattoo lasts. And her grandmother says, "Happy birthday, I love you," or something like that, right?
Yeah. And that's a very common story. I mean, not hers in particular, but the people who are getting sound wave tattoos at this point, I would say a large majority of them are getting them for people who passed away. I mean, I posted something on Facebook a couple days ago, and I just said, like, what do you want to get for your sound wave tattoo? Like, let us know in the comments. And, you know, immediately there were 10 comments from people talking, like sharing their stories about their family members who had passed away. You know, I want to get one for like my son who died, or my dad who died, or whatever. And, you know, I think that like brings up something even more for me, because like I've you know, the last 10 years of tattooing, I've been using tattoos like as a way for people to like more deeply understand what's going on inside themselves, and to help express that, and to like, and then once you have it as a tattoo, it's like something that people are going to engage with you about. They're going to like ask you, what is that? Why do you have it? It gives you an opportunity to then like tell that story and share it with other people. And and that's something I kind of have been thinking about working on. You know, I used to have like therapeutic dot tattoo, and I would talk about using tattoo as therapy. And I don't have it anymore because it's not, you know, it's not something that I think people were ready to like work around and like think about tattooing as this thing that's like actually really therapeutic. It's like something about telling your story, like owning your story rather than being a victim of it.
Exactly.
Is really empowering. And I think like more than anything else, what sound wave tattoos are is this way for people to, you know, especially on social media where like everything's really positive. People are always like putting out this very like positive, like this, my life is great. Like, look at all this amazing stuff. It doesn't have, we don't have this like outlet to be real and raw and to face our pain, you know, and that's like what a tattoo is. Like, how many other things in life do people do where they have to suffer to become who they want to be?
Exactly.
You know? I think you can go to the gym, right? Like, you can go work out and you can like suffer a little bit and like be who you want to be. And that's hard. Like, a lot of people can't do it. I'm not one of those people. But a tattoo is like really special because you literally have to sit there. You have to surrender, right? That's a huge part of it. Like, that's not a thing that people are used to doing very much. Everybody wants to be in control all the time. So you've got to surrender. As soon as you surrender, you're vulnerable. As soon as you're vulnerable, then you're releasing something. As soon as you start releasing something, you're going through all this painful experience. You're overcoming your pain. Through the process of overcoming your pain, you're building up the strength to be able to know that you can overcome painful experiences. Like, this whole process is something that we've lost, like, as a culture. It's what indigenous cultures have been doing for a really long time, right? Like, that's the rite of passage of becoming an adult, is to go through these like really challenging, really painful experiences to become who you really believe that you want to be. You know, I mean, I think like there's a lot of the Eastern philosophies talks about this kind of stuff, but it's not something that our culture talks a lot about. It's definitely not something that the tattoo industry has spent a lot of time talking about. And so, you know, I think that I would hope that that's like something that we get to keep, you know, I'm excited. That's like what I get to keep talking about, that now, you know, we're crossing into this new realm of, well, we're mixing technology and tattoos in a way that nobody has done, but we're also going to bring up a lot of this like psychology of like, why are we getting tattoos and what do they mean? And like, you know, they're permanent, but we are honoring impermanence. And like, those two things are important to like keep in balance. And, you know, there's a lot of that kind of stuff that plays into the sound wave tattoo, and why people are so interested in it, you know. And it's like, I'm continually humbled and honored that something I could make is going to have such a profound effect on all these people's lives. And like, really, you know, early on, like when it started going viral, like it was a conversation I had with Juliana where we kind of looked at each other. It was like, wow, like, do we really want to do this? Because it's going to completely take over our entire lives.
Yep.
And, you know, not to say that we were like well off or anything before, but we were happy, you know, we had what we needed, and we didn't have a lot of stress. and this is actually a huge task. It's like a lot of responsibility to make this a reality and to keep it going and to make sure that everybody's happy. You know, Juliana answers hundreds of messages that we get from Facebook and through our support forum on our website and stuff. Like, every day she writes a personal message to every single person who contacts a company. And it's like, those are the things that keep people engaged. Those are the things that let them know we care. And hopefully, you know, like, hopefully through our giving, like, just continually over and over and over, that like we can help people, you know, we can help people have this experience. We can help them remember their loved ones. We can help them, you know, with their grieving, because people don't know how to grieve, you know, like, we're never taught how to grieve properly. And, you know, this stuff, it's all equally important to me. So,
Nate, thank you very much. I know, and I told you this the minute I saw your first video, I know that this is going to be a big consuming business. There's going to be challenges, but it's going to be huge. And thank you for this wonderful conversation. I wish you all the best. Love to Juliana. Love to your beautiful baby. And go get him, baby.
yeah, thanks, Jim.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.